game number 1. Vitor, Adriel. Vitor trying to reset, Adriel trying to keep the momentum going.
Adriel and Vitor both waiting. Goes for the archers in the back, Eva version. We see Eva Mortar take the stage once again, and a bomb tower to stop that right away. I think the crowd before shouted Mortar. Maybe they got their prediction right.
And actually, I want to make sure, have you talked about why we are seeing Mortar so often? Because you were talking to me about it earlier today, and I thought it was incredible insight.
Yeah, obviously Mortar not one of the best evolutions in the game, but it does apply a lot of pressure, and it is so good at defending Electro Giant. Electro Giant really coming into the meta as it counters Minor Poison and Goblin Giant beatdown decks. So I think that's why we're seeing it a lot more in the 2023 World Finals.
Adriel not going to be running any of those decks right there. Instead, going to be going with the Mighty Miner Wall Breakers deck that we've seen quite a bit this weekend. Again, I was talking about it at the beginning of the show. It feels like a meta was introduced, and all these players believe that there's really only 3 to 6 decks that you can actually cycle from to have a chance this weekend.
It really is fascinating. We see the minions plus goblins plus ice spirits, not really a normal thing, but the minions just so good versus the Little Prince. We see the evil archers all over the place, getting lots of value in a multitude of different decks. Miner coming in right here, though. It is a Miner Poison mirror matchup. Mortar being the only change, but Adriel taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, right there. You would have loved to see the poison be placed 2 to 3 to 4 tiles, even a little bit higher. And right there, Vitor, forgetting about the left lane, he can go all in. This is beautiful to watch, and that's going to be a Mortar lock. Can he protect it? The archers are targeted onto the goblins. This is huge for Vitor.
Mortar, so many shots. Will it get one more? Oh. Yes, it does. It always gets that last shot. Goblin gonna get 2 stabs on tower as well. This might very well be a game over. All he needs to do is defend for the next 50 seconds.
Are you kidding me? Adriel's only gonna use 2 elixir on the left lane, and Vitor's still able to recognize that's too many elixir used. That is such a beautiful adjustment right there. Gets the tower down to 254, and with 35 seconds left.
And
there we go.
Yeah.
Tower fully down at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the icing on the cake at that point. Vitor using his own miner, predicting the Mighty Miner to pull the Mortar, pulling all the way over. Mortar locks on tower. I mean, I wish we could have seen that when it actually mattered, but it's going to be tower down, and maybe he'll do it again in another match.
There we go, 10 seconds left. Vitor hanging on, going in with the prediction poison. Not going to catch anything because Adriel is going to recognize, hey, let's head into game number 2. Brilliant stuff from Vitor, and I really want to point this out. The match where he was having those struggles, getting some great crowd work in right now. Beautiful stuff, everybody. Keep it up. Yeah.
We're hopping in game. Once again, leaking some elixir. Spear Gods at the bridge from Vitor. Ghost in the back from Adriel. A Barbarian Barrel as well. Gonna be Recruit Spam versus Royal Giant. Adriel at the bottom with RG.
Ghost getting a little bit of damage onto the Royal Recruits. Royal Recruits taking it out just in time. Vitor, I'm trying to think if he was the player that used this. I think it was day 1. Maybe it was somebody else, but we didn't see a lot of success because Mother Witch was a possible card used. It does not appear that Adriel is running it for this game. So we'll see if this deck actually manages to work out this time.
Instead of Mother Witch, we're seeing a bit of Little Prince action in the Royal Giant. This deck was very popular on release of the Little Prince. It does a great job of adding another tank, and that's what RG is all about. It's almost like a tank bait deck. You have the Ghost, you have that Royal Giant baiting out your opponent's tank, but you also have the Fisherman plus that Little Prince ability.
Yeah, and those Ghosts are just so difficult to stop, and we're going to see it with Vitor's deck. If he does not have Recruits in cycle, it's always going to be extremely difficult to stop it right there. Has to use the ability in order to take the Ghost off the board. Both players just kind of resetting right now, heading into overtime in about 20 seconds.
I'm interested to see what the spell is going to be for Adriel here, because if he doesn't have a Fireball, dealing with the Dark Goblins are going to be extremely annoying because the Barbarian Barrel does not reach that far.
Yeah, very clean defense right there. Adriel not panicking whatsoever. Spirit Goblins at the bridge from Vitor, going to force out a Phoenix. So a 2-for-4 action right there. And he's got the Evo to Royal Recruits in hand.
Evo Recruits in the back. Fisherman going to the same lane. Fisherman, not a great counter. Ghost is decent. Adriel desperately needs another Barbarian build. Maybe it's not necessary, though. He's got the little Prince ability. Barbo goes on the right side. I love the E-Spirit as well to make sure that Dark Off does go down.
Yeah, that E-Spirit right there getting a ton of value, but the Spirit Goblins are going to still be staying alive. That is clean defense from Adriel. And he still has 6 Elixir and all these troops still on the board.
Ghost getting wiped out. Dark Off once again getting a lot of value. Phoenix on the left. Adriel is going full defensive mode right now, but he needs damage as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he manages to do that. What do you think it is his best bet to get damage in this match where Vitor's constantly pressuring?
Yeah, right here. I think it's going to be something like this because the Little Prince, when it's activating its ability on offense, it's always going to get a ton of value. Guardian going to be able to swipe everything out of the way. And this tower is getting dangerously low for Vitor. He's been applying pressure all day, but Adriel finally seeing his opportunity and utilizing that beautifully. Gets a ton of damage, getting the tower down to 1120.
Fireball does come out on the wall breakers. Spear Gob's bridge, Dark Gob on the other side. Dark Gob getting so much value, killed everything, plus got damage, but it wasn't enough. He is still in the damage deficit.
E-Spirit to take out the Skelly. Skellies get 2 shots, plus the death damage from the Skeleton Barrel. Recruits, not the Evo ones, so Adriel's just going to try and get a clean defense and possibly go in with another RG. He does have the Evo RG inside.
Royal Giant, sorry, not Royal Giant, a different RG, the Royal Ghost, going to be taking out the recruits there. We do see another counter push. You have to remember, Adriel also has his Evo Royal Giant in cycle, and he's waiting to use it for the perfect moment.
Yeah, right there with the Mighty Miner down on the field. You can't really go RG into that. A lot of pressure on both lanes. Barbell going to be able to clean up everything pretty nicely right there. So many small, just difficult defenses, and he's cleaning it up very nicely every single time.
Very well said. Plus, look at the damage on the right-hand side. Now Adriel's in a situation where if he just continues to defend, he should be able to take this dub, but he's got to do it in triple elixir with 35 seconds left.
34 seconds left right now. Vitor needs to figure something out going in with the Skeleton Barrel. Finally, we see the spell be used, and I just don't think it's going to be enough. 25 seconds left, and look, Adriel is going to be able to defend out and then maybe get an RG. There we go. We do see the RG from Adriel.
Evo Recruits for the defense, but there's no building. That's what I was talking about earlier. There's no building in a lot of the decks in the meta, and that allows this Royal Giant to connect for massive damage. Tower's going down. Adriel taking game 2.
Crowd asking where the Sparky is. Who knows? We might see it in this next game.
Ice Spirit the bridge. No Sparky from Adriel. Vitor with the snowball and a Hog Rider. Is this going to be a Hog Rider matchup? No. Vitor with the bowler.
Vitor pulling out the bowler. Let's see if one of these players... I've got a good feeling Adriel is not going to be pulling out Sparky in this, so now the crowd's only hope is going to be Vitor at this point.
Wow, and missed arrows. This is such an important moment because that one firecracker has the potential to get so much value. On the other hand, it could be a little bit scary for Vitor because it might mean a King Tower activation.
Yeah, right there, mini P.E.K.K.A plus Snowball going to be able to clean everything up nicely, but this Firecracker, this is one of those interactions where you make one mistake with 10 seconds into the game, and you have to pay for that for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Vitor was not able to get that King Tower activation, so maybe he can get it later. Having a King Tower activation this early would be so nice versus a Hog Rider deck, though.
So Vitor, 2 cards left. Is this crazy? Is it Giant Graveyard, Giant Bowler Graveyard? We haven't seen anything like that so far. We haven't seen a lot of Zappies. We haven't seen a lot of Bowler. We have seen that. But yeah.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction here, Josh.
Okay.
I think this could be like Graveyard mini P.E.K.K.A. It's crazy to say, and you called it as well, Giant Graveyard in front of tower, ready for the defense. Does he have the Earthquake for the Graveyard? There it is, a solid defense, but he does have Snowball, not Log. That could play a huge part in the future.
Yeah, right there, Giant Graveyard plus the Bowler. That's 15 Elixir coming down the lane, and Adriel defends with only the Inferno Tower Earthquake Ice Spirit, a beautiful 6 Elixir trade. And again, he has the Hog EQ. He's going to be able to go all in, very aggressive for the rest of this game. Beautiful prediction, Snowball. Not going to do any damage, but it is going to intimidate Vitor. At least it would intimidate me.
Snowball is such an interesting card when paired with and when going against a Hog Rider. A lot of the time, you can get lots of damage. Oh, Josh exclaiming here because the Hog is going in front. Snowball does allow for one shot, but this might give Vitor a chance to get a nice push going.
Yeah, this would have been a massive push if the Hog would have been behind the Knight instead. Still a solid one. The Knight is always so powerful. Mini P.E.K.K.A placed right on top, and he's still going to go in with the Hog. The skeletons are on the tower. Needs to force out the Snowball, and Vitor is in a world of hurt. He is struggling against these Hog, just these Hog Earthquake Snowball pushes.
The other thing I have to mention is Adriel's building of choice. That Inferno Tower is making it so hard for Vitor to attack. He does not have a reset other than the Zappies, but realistically, those Zappies will never reach that Inferno Tower.
And right there, again, places the Hog in front, and again, it doesn't matter, still able to get a shot. These Firecrackers are getting so much value, don't even need the evolution for it, and right now, Earthquake to defend, Hog on offense. Vitor needs to figure something out, and I just don't know what he could possibly do.
Bowler is not enough to stop this Hog Rider. Will the Snowball be? No, but not Hog Rider with another shot. Are you kidding me?
Vitor probably going to go in with the Graveyard, but I just don't think it's going to do anything whatsoever. He needs to get in a cycle where he's going Mini P.E.K.K.A against the Hog and protecting the Giant. Right now, the high Zappies could have been special, but because of the Earthquake, that's going to be able to take the tower. Adriel takes game number 3, the reverse sweep, and Adriel moving on to the next round.